Assalamu alaikum students. Today we are going to cover the section 3 and section 4 of research proposal, that is methodology, in the final section. So the objectives is to make you able to know how to write section 3 and 4, that is methodology, and the final section of your research proposal. Previously we have covered the title page, abstract, section 1 introduction, and section 2 literature review. Okay, and in this section we are going to, in today's lecture we are going to cover section 3 and section 4, that is methodology, and the final section of your research proposal. Okay, so section 3 is methodology. In this methodology, basically you have to explain to your research committee how you are going to plan and tackle your research problem. How will you plan your work? How will you do all the activities related with the methodology, the collection of data, the tools, and everything. Okay, the guiding principles for writing the method section is that it should contain sufficient information for the reader to determine whether methodology is sound or not. Okay, so you have to write in such a way that the reader, means the who is going to approve your research proposal, it should be clear to that person that your methodology is sound and can be conducted in a very proper and ethical ways. Okay, since there is no well established and widely accepted canon in qualitative analysis, so this method need to be more elaborate as compared to the uh, traditional quantitative research. So as compared to quantitative researches, this section for qualitative researches should be more detailed. Now, these are some of the sections of research methodology, that is research design, population, sample and sampling method, measurement instrument selection, procedure, and the plan of analysis or the software that you will use for analyzing your data. So these are the subsections, 6 subsections of research methodology section. Let's discuss each of them in detail. Research design, basically it indicates what type of study you will use. Okay, so though it is just named the research design, but you have to mention the paradigm that you are going to use in it, right? Quantitative or qualitative or mixed. You have to discuss the research design, whatever design you are using: survey, research, experimental, interview, focus group, or whatever type of research you are using, we have already discussed. Along with that, you have to mention the different types of researches on the basis of the time and the place we have mentioned, we have already discussed, right? So you have to mention, I think you have finalized each and everything, each and every kind of research on the basis of length, on the basis of time, right? So you have to mention each and every type here in under this heading, under the heading of research design. Okay, and any other particular linguistic strategy that you are using, you have to mention that over here under this heading. When we talk about the population, so as I've already explained you in the very first class, and later on I have explained it again and again, that population means the frame of reference or the entire population under consideration, which you are considering, okay, which you are focusing on, and from that population you are basically taking out the sample to be tested or to be covered, right? So where the study findings may be generalized, so because it's the sample that is from the population, so whatever result you will get from the sample will be generalized on the population. Okay, the specific characteristic related to your study, or you can say the specific people or the specific characteristic of in the population should be mentioned here under this heading, under this section. Okay, for example, all English language teachers teaching English compulsory courses at undergraduate study programs at public sector universities in Karachi with minimum qualification of BS English and maximum qualification of MS in English. Okay, so this is how you will define the population. Okay, so means whatever on whom you are generalizing, you will generalize your result. Okay, now the sample and the sampling technique, you have already finalized your samples and the sampling technique that you are going to use. in the chart, right? So now it's the time over here under this heading you have to explain that with the definition. Okay, the sampling method and justification to use. I have told you in the class that we have certain sampling techniques with certain designs, right, limited to certain designs. But if you are using some other sampling technique because of any reason, then you have to justify the reason why you are using that particular sampling type. Okay, sampling method. Not only justification, but you have to include the definition as well. Okay, then you have to mention the sample size and why this is specific size, like for example how many participants you are planning to include in your research, right? So you have to mention it over here: 100 participants, 200 participants, or 10 participants, or whatever. Okay, a specific sample size. You cannot be much more accurate over here, so you can write in this way, like for example approximately so and so. Okay, or between 100 to 150, or 100 or 10 to 20. In this way you can mention it over here, because if you become more specific, then you have to carry on with that specific size. Okay, then measurement tools or instrument selection. Now here you have to mention the tool that you have finalized. Okay, I have discussed the tools as well. You have completed that chart, and you have included the tools over there, and I've approved it. So now over here you have to mention the details of it. Okay, whether you are collecting the data through primary research or secondary research, you have to clarify it under this section. And then the method of data collection. What is your method of data collection? How will you collect the data? If it's a survey, then it means through questionnaires you are collecting the data. So questionnaire, if you are using any questionnaires, so what kind of questionnaire you are using, close-ended or open-ended? And if it is close-ended, then what type of close-ended questions you have included in your questionnaire item, right? If it's a Likert scale that you are planning to make, or any yes no, or any other that we have already discussed in detail, right? So you have to finalize it over here and mention explain it here, right? Now if we talk about the questionnaire, that in case if it is adapted, provide details. Adapted means if you are taking the questionnaire of someone else and you have made slight changes to it, then you have to mention that I have adapted the questionnaire from so and so researcher or research paper. Okay, and if it is self developed, if you have designed your own questionnaire, then mention the process of development assuring validity and reliability. Okay, now let's talk about the procedure of your research proposal, of your research, right? And especially over here we are talking about the method. Okay, so when we talk about the procedure, then how will you accomplish this study? How will you conduct this study? You have to mention under this heading, right? Your specific steps and methods that you will take, the selection of the resources and samples, how will you select those sources, how will you approach those sources or samples, and then the development of the data collection instrument, which we have already discussed in the previous subsection, right? So here you have to explain it in detail. And then how will you administer that data collection tool? How will you collect the data? Will it be online? Will it be on Google? Will it be self administered? Okay, so what kind, I mean, how will you administer that research tool? Then the ways to enhance reliability, validity, and ethical standards of the study. This is also very important. You have to be very careful about the reliability and validity of your data. Now, reliability and validity are much wider terms that I think we have discussed in. Okay, I think we haven't discussed it. Reliability means that it should be reliable enough that it will give the same result whenever and wherever it is used, right? So if your questionnaire is designed, your questionnaire should be designed in such a way that it will give the same result on the same sample that is used. ठीक है, अगर population में से आपने like उस population को like से के 10 में divide कर लिया और आप एक पे वो sample आप questionnaire use कर रहे हैं 10 में से एक पे, तो बाकी 9 से भी ऑलमोस्ट वही रिजल्ट आना चाहिए। इतना रिलायबल और इतना इफेक्टिव आपका क्वेश्चनियर या इंटरव्यू क्वेश्चंस हो। वैलिडिटी मीन्स whatever questions or questionnaire items you have used should answer to your main research question. Okay, you can approve the validity of your questionnaire by field experts. ठीक है, जब आप क्वेश्चनर डिज़ाइन करते हैं तो आप उससे उसको पायलटिंग भी करवाते हैं उसकी, और पायलटिंग से पहले आप एक्सपर्ट रिव्यूज़ लेते हैं, एक्सपर्ट वैलिडेशन कहलाता है। ठीक है, when you have designed the questionnaire you will ask 3 experts of that particular field to verify, to validate your research questionnaire. Okay, so you have to mention this in your procedure section, that I will design the research paper and then I will ask the field expert to validate this questionnaire or interview questions or whatever. Okay, then the analysis and the interpretation of the data, you have to mention how you will analyze or interpret the data, right, and the challenges or the problems that encounters and measures adopted to handle those. If you think that you are going to face any problem, then how you are going to handle those problems, you have to mention each and everything over here in the procedure. Like for example, if you want to collect data from some other city, then how will you do that, right? You must have planned anything accordingly, right? So you have to mention that under this heading, under the heading of procedure, subheading of procedure. Then the last heading of methodology is the plan of analysis of the statistics tool. Plan of statistic tool or the specific testing or analysis tool that you will use. Like for example, if you are using SPSS, then in SPSS, what are you going to use? This descriptive statistics or inferential statistics. These are the two tests, right? And they have many subtests as well. Okay, so what you are planning to, how you are planning to analyze the data that you will collect from your research. Okay, this part may also suggest that analysis will help you in interpreting your findings in certain way, right? This will also show you whether you are following the quantitative way of analyzing the data or the qualitative way. If you have mentioned a qualitative research design in the design, then it means your analysis should also be qualitative. If it is quantitative, if the research design is quantitative, like for example survey or experimental research, then it means the plan of analysis should also be based on the quantitative tools, right? For example, SPSS, descriptive statistics or inferential statistics. Okay, and now section 4, that is the final section of your research proposal. There are going to be 2 to 3 subheadings in your final section. That is the research timeline and resource and cost estimate and reference. Most probably these are the 3 subheadings that are going to be there in your research proposal, right? Let's talk about the timeline, research timeline. So you have to make a sort of a table, right, covering each and every month of your next semester, क्योंकि next semester में आपको research project करना है, तो आपको जुलाई से start करके जुलाई, अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर एंड दिसंबर में आपको सबमिट करनी है रिसर्च। तो ये आपको टेबल में मंथ वाइज मेंशन करना है कि कौन से मंथ में आप क्या काम करेंगे, स्टार्टिंग विद योर इंट्रोडक्शन and then literature review and then working on your tools, approving tools, data collection, and then final submission analysis and then the submission. Okay, ये आपको timeline में show करना होगा. Then the second over here mentioned here is the research management plan, human resources funds, time frame for non-academic research proposal or the funded research. So this is not for you, this is for the non-academic researchers where there are funds are provided. राइट तो यहाँ पे आपको फंड प्रोवाइड नहीं है तो इसलिए आपको ये वाला सेक्शन कवर नहीं करना. थर्ड इज द रिसोर्स एंड द कॉस्ट एस्टिमेट. वट एवर कॉस्ट you will have or face for doing this research, and whatever resources you need you have to mention under this heading. And then the references, whatever reference you have used in your introduction, in your literature review, you have to mention under this references. We are going to discuss how to write the reference list and the references in the from the next week, from the next classes. Okay, so you have to mention that under this heading. Then the last is the appendices. Most probably you won't be adding anything here, but if you want to, then you can add anything extra that you want to show it to your research resourcer or the approval who is going to approve your research proposal. You can add it over here. Okay, so that's all for today for this research proposal. Please start writing your research proposal now. Thank you so much.